Guess it helps if I bring myself on my own stream, right? Hey guys, it's Sunday, and that means we must be watching the Snark Lounge. So I know today I look a little bit like a Hasidic Jew, and I want to. What is it? Nicholas says, "Oh, come on, man." I want to apologize to everybody. I promised myself I'd never do this. I have only myself to blame. But yeah, guys, I'm terribly sorry. I wore pants tonight. I did. I wore pants to my own live stream. What have I become? I've become one of those YouTubers that wear pants. I don't know what has happened here. But guys, we got a good show for you. Definitely. We're going to introduce a guest shortly. I want to let you guys know a little bit what's been going on in the meantime. Some of you guys remember my lovely better half Bunny. She has been in quarantine for the past couple weeks. She's back in Shanghai. So she will be here next week, but this week she's still in quarantine. She was going to join us last minute. She's like, yeah, I don't want to do that because I have Australians on the show, and Australians are scary. They have sharp teeth. Some of them are poisonous, and you just never know. And so, yeah, I'm missing around. She didn't do that. This week, guys, I'm going to apologize if I sound like I'm a little coffee. I've been fighting a little thing. I had a chest cold a couple weeks ago, and I don't know what happened. I started getting this pain in my side. I thought it might have been like an appendix or something, which is like a ticking time bomb. Thank goodness it wasn't. And so I had to go to the hospital. Here is a real picture of me in the hospital. I had, the best doctors and nurses in all of Shanghai looking after me. And thank goodness it was not an appendix. So I'm good. So, but as I said, next week we can expect a little more bunny action here. Goodness, I look chubby in that photo. Okay, let's take that off right away. So without further ado, however, I do want to go straight. She's like, I didn't say those words. Yes, I know. I'm teasing you. I just had to, tease her a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my guests in this morning. I've got two wonderful Australians who they have modified their camera so they're not upside down because they're in Australia. And as everyone knows, in Australia, everything's upside down. So in any case, let's go ahead and bring these guys in. Some of you guys remember Straya Guy. And I want to introduce Carne. How you doing, gentlemen? Can you hear me? All right. Why can I not hear you? What have I done? Okay. I don't know if your audio is on. Can anybody hear them? Somebody in the comments, let me know if you can hear them because I cannot hear them. Can anyone hear them? My audio is on. So Bunny says she cannot hear them. So Shinzo says, I cannot read lips. So Iceman says, no. So somehow they have done something, probably when they flip their camera again, because they're upside down. They're in Australia. These things happen somehow. So that happens. While we're waiting for them to come back, let's see if we've got Iceman was asking Bunny. By the way, as you might have noticed, Bunny's not here. So for those of you who just now turning in, Iceman's asking Bunny about how much the cost for 14 days. Yes, she had to we had to pay for her own quarantine. When you are coming in the borders into China, if for whatever reason you are out and you're coming back in, they are letting people in back in a little bit at a time. You have to quarantine for 14 days. 14 days. And then you have to go to a hotel where they lock you in, basically. You have a little key card you can buzz in one time, and after that it doesn't work. And they bring you 3 meals a day, and it's nice, but you're gonna have to ride out the quarantine for that long. So we're still waiting for them. Let's see. Bunny says, oh yeah, it's not cheap. It's about $774 for 14 days. So there it is. So, and they've just disappeared. Yeah. So these things happen. So as we like to say, it is not the Snark Lounge if we don't have the internet kerfuffle. Got to have the internet kerfuffle. Love it. All right. While we're waiting for them, I had an interesting thing happen this week. I went outside my house, went to go to work, and steps outside my gate, and I discovered this. Yes, there was stairway panties sitting right there on the stairwell. And I'm thinking, I didn't order stairway panties. I mean, you can order anything in Shanghai, but I didn't order stairway panties at all. So I was trying to figure out what happened. Where did this come from? And yeah. So my wife thinks that what happened is that somebody just forgot them and they put them up there for them to reclaim, possibly. I don't know. And they were gone again. So either someone realized they forgot their knickers and came back for them, or somebody else felt that they could give them a good home. Ew. But in any case, it was kind of weird. So there we go. Those panties are too small for Snarky, unfortunately. So, hey, my wearing ladies' underwear was our secret, and but in any case, so yeah, that was kind of a weird circumstance, a weird circumhap to happen here. So we're still waiting for them. They were having some interesting things happen, and this just disappeared. Tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about what it's like to be a little more, shall we say, affluent, a little bit of a high roller, a little bit wealthy in China, because it is a little bit different than the rest of us plebes here in China. A lot of us come into China. We appreciate the low cost of living. We appreciate the, the lifestyle. But some people, have a little bit more of, shall we say, a good life in China. And we'll be talking with them as soon as they're back. Let's see. Oh, yes. So he's going to come in through his PC. There's a double entendre screaming to be made there. I'm not going to make it, though. So, and that's what she said. There you go. Ba-bam. And I think they may be back.
Can you hear us?
Hey, we have audio.
Yes. Woo.
Yes.
Oh, if it's a bit choppy.
So these things happen. These things happen. Hey, guys, welcome to Snark Lounge. How we doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Wow.
So
we were a bit down under.
Yeah, they're down under. They're still down under. For those of you who don't know, they're coming to us live from Australia. So Stray Guy's been on the Snark Lounge a couple times before. But guys, please welcome. So I have been talking to him online for quite some time, but this will be the first time he's on the Snark Lounge, and he is quite the gentleman. So, there we go. And now we don't have to read lips. True story. In any case, so I want to ask you guys, first of all, for those of you not familiar with SnarkyGuy, Straya, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your channel, my friend.
So, hey guys. Hi, I'm the SnarkyGuy in China. As many of us that unfortunately left China for a little while, I'm still stuck trying to get back into China. But my channel is usually about just fun, quirky things, sometimes some skits, doing a little bit of the not normal kind of thing when people go and tour around China. I want to get in there and sometimes, I guess, come up with really weird ways to do things that other people maybe don't usually do themselves.
There we go.
That's another way to put it. It doesn't always involve pants.
Well, I'm actually wearing pants tonight just for you gentlemen, just tonight. So I hope not to be wearing pants next week. Don't challenge me on this, please. So a couple weeks ago, Guilo challenged me to prove if I was wearing pants or not, and I could not prove it because I was not wearing pants. But it is a pants-free live stream. So, Straya, tell us about your channel, my friend.
You saying Straya? Tell us about the channel again.
Remember, you're a larrikin. The Australian word for SnarkyGuy is he's a larrikin. That's what we'd say. He's a larrikin.
There we go.
Indeed. Well, do you want to hear about Carney's channel?
No, you tell us about yourself. I don't know if you told us much about your channel, though. For those of you who don't know, what's your channel name? What sort of videos you produce?
True. So you can find me under Straya Guy in China. I do actually have a second channel I did a while ago in Korea. I've kept the name Straya Guy. I like it. It works well. Not many people, funnily enough, aren't using it. But anyway, the videos I create, I try to get one a week out if I can. And they usually require a little bit of thought and a little bit of not thinking together to make some kind of skit or something, make fun of something. So you'll usually see something from me that might be a parody of something, or it might make fun of something, instead of just going out and saying, hey, look at this, it's different than what you normally see in your country type thing. So that's how I usually roll. And hey, like, you know, as we have been advertising for some time, there may be a little bit of a parody coming up with Vegemite, if things happen correctly.
Yes. Hence, I do have the Vegemite sitting right here, with Scratchy sitting on top of it. Some of you may be familiar with, yes, that is a chicken foot. I rescued this chicken foot from a pot of soup in Dongguan, the Dirty D, and I mounted him on a chopstick, and he's been serving me well as a good beard scratcher for quite some time now. So, but tonight he's just sitting on top the Vegemite, and yes, Straya Guy and I will be making an interesting Vegemite video. We just haven't had the opportunity to do that yet, but that's coming soon. Soon.
We'll get there.
Are you going to teach him the song? Snarky, has he taught you the song?
Oh,
the song.
Yeah, no, every
there's
Australian
a song.
There's got a song. There is a song that comes with Vegemite.
Yes, we're happy little Vegemite for breakfast.
That's bright as bright can be. We all enjoy our Vegemite for breakfast, lunch, and tea. Our mummy says we're growing strong with every single week because we love our Vegemite. We all enjoy our Vegemite. It puts a rose in every cheek. That was like the 50s or something.
It sounds a lot like the a drinking song for some odd reason.
It should be a drinking song.
Yes.
It should be a drinking song.
There we go. So not dry Vegemite. You really can't drink that very well. So, Carney, tell us about yourself. If I assume you have, I know actually, I assume for a fact, I know you have a YouTube channel. Tell us about yourself and tell us about your channel, my friend.
Well, welcome everybody. My name's Carney. Well, my first name's Ace, but everyone calls me Carney, so we go with Carney. I first went to China, Hong Kong in 2014, and fell in love with the. Was allured by the different culture, and I'd never been to an Asian country like that before, and I started to take an interest in the country. I then spread into Shenzhen, moved on up towards Chongqing, made some good friends in Chongqing, and eventually ended up in Chengdu, home of the pandas. I decided that after watching a lot of YouTube channels, seeing a lot of channels about, a lot of it seems to be like backpacker information, where it's like, where you go in the street and get street food and all the little sightseeing things to do. And I thought that there's nothing there that shows what the good life is like in Chengdu. China is not just people walking around with straw hats pushing wheelbarrows everywhere. So there's also a really good life. I don't want to say high society, but there is a different level of life there. It's not, and everyone's not wearing straw hats and pushing wheelbarrows. So my channel, Mijen, is about the good life in China. And
there we go.
I want to introduce the world to that. You can have a really good quality life in China, akin to what you would have in Europe or America or Australia. And nice. I really enjoy being there. I really enjoy living in Chengdu. Unfortunately, owing to the current circumstances in the world at the moment, we are both stuck here.
Yep.
Although the Chinese government has changed the rules as of the 28th of September.
Fingers crossed.
No, it's true. They have changed the rules, and Straya Guy and myself, we both hold the correct visas that will allow us to now come back. So
There we go.
That was a change. That was the rule came out on the 28th of September, or it came into effect on
That's
the
true.
29th of September.
It's just the borders, though. That's the problem.
So we're just taking the necessary steps for us to get back. I miss my dog dearly. I miss my life in Chengdu. I have a very good life in Chengdu.
There you go. We'll be talking more about that. What is your channel name for those of you who want to? And I'll introduce that again at the end of the segment. But for those of you who want to find you on YouTube, what is your channel name?
My channel name is Mizhen. So Mizhen, Mizhen in Chengdu. That's my channel. I've only got a couple of videos up because I just started the channel when I happened to pop back to Australia to just attend to a couple of things, and then the world changed. So
just on a dime. Yep.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
it's M-I-Z, not Z, Z-H-E-N. So because, Australians say things a little bit different, and, people call them different things, like the Australians call the New Zealanders Kiwis, and the New Zealanders call Australians convicts. So
well played.
well played. Well played. True story.
You're American, aren't you?
Nicholas, he says, how many years is that chicken foot now? I've had that chicken foot for 4 years now, my friend. So he Sujo says, is that a beard scratcher you can eat? No, I'm not going to eat. It's actually been dried out. But every time I set it down, if I don't put it in a drawer, my cat Skittles tries to get a hold of it and run away with it. So what's this? Straya Guy is so hot.
That feels good.
There you go. So Nicholas says the imported cases went up from 19 to 21 in the last couple of days. That's one of those things, when you have those cases, it's going to kind of have like a little bit of a bell curve, but we're kind of hoping that curve is kind of making its way down. And we can see evidence of that because not only do you see fewer and fewer people wearing masks in China these days, but as Carney says, they've changed the regs now to let people back in. That's good. So
can I say that we're in Canberra and we've not had any requirement for masks for like 5 months now because Canberra is, even though Canberra is the capital of Australia where the seat of government is, it's like we're like a bubble here.
We are a safe bubble.
Yeah, we are in the middle. We're in the middle of the country. It's like Sydney's on the coast, Melbourne's down south, but we're in the middle. And in fact,
true story, the word Canberra itself means like meeting place in Aboriginal because they needed the meeting place between. So all these places that everyone else recognizes that doesn't live here, we live in the place that was made for people to meet.
Well, there's a bit of story. There's a bit of a story behind it. The reason is, for all those watching, the reason Canberra is in the middle of nowhere is because originally Melbourne, which is in Victoria, south in the southern end of Australia, originally Melbourne was the capital of Australia. When Australia became a federation, the Australian government was in Melbourne. Now, Sydney, they didn't like that. In Sydney, they argued that they should be the capital of Australia. So a bit of a Barney
convicts.
A bit of a Barney ensued between Sydney and Melbourne. And so it was decided that to appease both camps, to appease the poo-poo here and the poo-poo there, I'm plagiarizing Snarky right now. But to appease the poo-poo here and the poo-poo there, they decided they'd make a place somewhere in the middle. So Canberra is basically in the middle of the bush. You drive out of Sydney or Melbourne, and then you just hit the countryside, and then you get to Canberra eventually, and then all of a sudden there's a city. So we've been isolated from the virus. We've not had any cases here in Canberra.
Yeah, but you guys are kind of in the country. You're not in the Civic, are you?
Oh, well played. He's down with his lingo. Look at that. Wow, he's been studying.
Yes.
So I love this comment. A bit of Barney, as in the purple dinosaur.
Well, Yeah, a
No
Barney is,
purple dinosaurs here, my friends.
yes.
That I'm aware of.
Yeah, Barney is an Australian colloquialism for, having a bit of a punch on,
Because that's what happened on that TV show, apparently. Surely.
I
Kids
did.
Barney, the Barney that they always have, don't they? Yeah.
I was aware of that. Well, guys, we're gonna get into a lot of that. The interesting story, though, you're talking about the capital of Australia. The same thing happened in the United States back when they were, forming the original 13 colonies. They couldn't decide where to put the capital. Up north, down south. So they literally trailblazed an area in the middle of a swamp that was, equidistant between the north and south. And they said, here it is. And that's Washington, D.C., which is built in the middle of a swamp. True story.
There you go. You learn something new every day.
You do learn something every day. And if you're not learning something every day, well, you may want to check your pulse. So in any case, we're talking about what we call the good life. And I know some people are going to say rich, and they may be a little more smidgen successful. But I got to ask, what makes, money aside, what makes you different than other foreigners in China?
One of the things that I've noticed in China is that not everyone, a great percentage of the people just make the assumption that because you're an expat, you're a foreigner in China, that, well, you must be an English teacher. Mm-hmm. And that's just not the case with myself and a lot of other people that I associate with in Chengdu and in Chongqing. A lot of, and I've seen channels, I won't name any names, but I've seen other YouTubers have made disparaging remarks about, referring to expats as sexpats or, people that are losers in their own country. So that's why they've gone to an Asian country. And that is really far from the truth. I think living in China, it's an exciting place to be there. I'm not an English teacher.
Those darn English teachers. Oh, wait a minute.
But look, of course, there's a great need for English teachers in China, and a lot of my friends, I have a lot of lady friends in Chengdu, and they all they really aspire to learn the English language because they really want to learn about Western culture. They'd like to meet Western men. So there is a great need for English teachers, but
that's when that's one of the things when you know that you're not an English teacher, when you get to be teaching beautiful women instead of little kids. When you're not teaching little kids to kick you in the balls and you got women that are, well, let's not finish that sentence.
I have noticed though, sometimes we're teaching the little kids, their favorite thing is to run up and just smack you right on the ass. And it's like, who does that?
I'm going to take a sidebar here for you. When I was in Korea, I don't know if it's just a Korean thing, but they have a thing called dongchip. And you'll see it in movies. You'll see it in like cartoons and all that. They do this with their fingers and they get people unsuspecting and they say dongchip. And apparently that's funny and acceptable. Adults and kids will do that. Very strange. Not fun to be a teacher.
Got a couple of comments here. So I thought Australia had dinosaurs. I think they may have dinosaurs in Australia. I know they have more things that can kill you animal-wise than in any other part of the world. So, snakes, spiders. I think Straya might be slightly venomous, but we don't want to test that.
Well,
so,
we breed men here. The men are men in Australia.
Oh. Don't say that. They'll make comments about me immediately. Especially if Burbax is on here. If Burbax is on here, I am eating. He thinks I'm a skeleton.
Oh. So, Bowen's asking. We covered this earlier. Where is Bunny? She's in quarantine, guys.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you that SnarkyGuy is the worst diabetic that I've ever met in my life.
the worst diabetic. How so? Oh my goodness.
He's got to have. He loves eating lollies, and he carries.
This is my takeaway box.
This is his takeaway box of lollies
from my big box.
And so he loves eating lollies, and then he has to shoot up insulin all the time.
Lollies is Australian for candy, for those that don't know.
So
candy, however you pronounce it.
I said to him, mate, you're a diabetic. What's with all the lollies? And he goes, I love lollies.
There we go. Oh, that's a lovely comment. Don't get an English teacher as your hubby. Thanks, honey. She loves to poke at me. Though, Iceman says English teachers today is not like 10 years ago. It's not easy as advert working visa. Try get one. Good vibes, and salary is good now. True story. Bowen, Straya Guy's venomous, only slightly. So
we'll have to find out.
So you make sure when you approach Straya Guy, you want to make sure you approach him gently. Make sure your hands are in full visible, and his eyesight,
Let him just reach out.
Let him sniff your hand a little bit, and you should be okay. So, what is it? Straight as a lolicon.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
I'll take that as a compliment, I guess.
It certainly was. So the question is, you're talking about the differences there. And I know a lot of people are going to wig, and sometimes a lot of people that think rich is something is a little politically correct. You don't want to say, but are affluent people happier and have less problems than people who are not as affluent? Do you think?
The best way to answer that is, I guess we have to be good stewards of what we've got in our control. So there's a lot of responsibility that if you're not a good steward, well, then you're going to lose everything. So
sure.
So it's all about good stewardship, but then there's a lot of responsibility. So because we're employing people, because we are, you've got to think about, the people that you're employing, they have mortgages to pay, they have commitments, and they're relying on you to keep the business running. They're relying on you to be a good steward of the business because, they have families, they have husbands, wives, children, parents, etc. So there's a lot there. There is responsibility there. So maybe we don't have day-to-day financial pressure say on the same level, but there's other things about being good stewards of what we've got to do. I hope I've made myself clear.
There we go. I had a comment come through on my WeChat. Someone said, talking about you're having all the girls around you teaching English. They're saying, asking if this is a harem or if these are just girls that are generally looking for manners and English lessons.
The ladies that come to my home in Chengdu, I live at the top of the building. It's about 550 square meters.
Nice.
We can generally fit about 40 ladies into the lounge room, and so I have my staff set up it's like we have a high tea, and the ladies come and they really want to learn. They really are keen to learn and to engage with Westerners and learn about Western etiquette and learn about Western men. They really have a passion. Like they're not just poking around. They really are keen to come and learn.
So when you say they're keen, are they learning etiquette so they can attract a Western man then? There
is yes, they want to, because they desire to meet a Western man. They want to learn, well, what are the nuances, the mannerisms, or the expectations that men in the West may have of a wife, and they really strive. They really want to be a good wife. They feel the women are they're jaded with the experience that they've had with Chinese men, and also because culturally there is a bit of a disconnect. As you know, once women hit, I think it's about 27, if they've not married, they become sort of, like they're called leftover women.
Leftover women, yeah.
So and these women are not leftover women. They are really beautiful women. They're all wealthy. They're all, believe me, every one of them are millionaires, and they, but because of their age, because of the family pressure from the man's side, they're not considered good for breeding. Once they get over a certain age, they say, well, they're not going to be good for breeding.
Because that's what women are for.
Well, it's a different cultural. It's a different cultural norm for them.
Yeah.
So they, these women, they range in age. They range in age, from say 35 to say 55.
Okay.
And some of them, we talked about if they've not found somebody, they're considered a leftover woman, and they're not leftover. I mean, they really are beautiful, elegant ladies. But it becomes even more difficult if they were married and they're divorced now and they've got a child.
Yeah.
It's
like a strike.
It's even more difficult. So, and they really want to be loved. They really want to be in a relationship. So,
sure,
for men in the West, we're like, we could care less.
What's the average in Australia is like one in 3 divorce. I've already gone through 2.
But the point. No, you're going off.
So,
the point
so then, realistically, Straya should be going to Carney to hook him up with some of these girls, right?
What? That's what he's been saying to me. He's like, you should come around sometime. And there's some lovely women
I
here.
want to get I think Burbeck's he's a pretty attractive. He's a pretty good looking bloke. I want to get him. I think it's Burbeck's.
Actually, Burbeck's has a lovely girlfriend from the Czech Republic already.
Oh,
so
does he?
He does. He does.
Maybe we need some comments below on people that are looking for possible future there. Etiquette Club.
I know everybody's thinking it. I'm just gonna go out and say it. With all these ladies coming to Carney, looking to find a man, do you have any sort of matchmaking service that you have unofficially? Carney's swipe left or swipe right. In my living room. No,
that's I'll be straight up there. That's not allowed by the Chinese government. So. Can't talk about that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Caliber Wings is in the house, guys. This guy, he makes models. He has a whole business on this. I actually just met up with him in Shanghai last week. Had some noodles, a little entirely too spicy. So let's see. We got a couple of ladies. They want to seek potential husbands from the West. True story. They do. Some of them, not all of them. I've actually heard that, they say maybe 1 or 2% of ladies in China would actually consider a foreign husband. It's not that big of a thing for a lot of them, but some of them are very interested. So,
interestingly, as you would know, English is the first language of 179 countries in the world.
True story.
So it's not just that. It's not just America and England and Australia that speaks, Canada, etc. that speaks English. English is the first language of over 179 countries, and so if you learn English,
language of business.
It means you can travel further abroad. You can go to more places, and you're able to communicate. So,
and the foreigners. Well, I'm going to use the word foreigner, but people that travel abroad, I always have a special feeling, especially for countries out there, and to be fair, a lot of them are Asian countries that have to prove a certain level of English before they're even allowed to leave or get visas or that, where a lot of other countries can just go into a country not speaking a lick of their language and wing it. And it's bad because, you walk past people every day. I'm pretty lazy with my English, and we barely can make coherent sentences. The diarrhea that comes from our mouth, the poo-poo that comes from our mouth, is barely English, and yet these people get ridiculed or racism against them. And half the time they speak with a better tone or better manner or better etiquette with the English language because they have studied it, practiced it, and speak it very well.
Oh, yeah.
They've been to someone like me.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So I got to ask, talking about money, do you think money defines a person?
Oh, no. Money is just a means to an end. What defines somebody is their character and what's inside them. One of the things that I keep pulling Straya Guy up on is he keeps saying to me, "Oh, I'm just the peasant. I'm just a peasant."
From the peasant's view,
and I
this is what yes, master. That not to that extent, but I do say,
and I
that,
say
like,
no.
The view that I've got, the
he just pulled out the Oliver Twist. He just did. Yes, sir. May I have another, please?
Yes. If you don't eat there'll be no pudding if you don't eat. I say to him, no. What you need to do is embrace the fact that we have a friendship, and embrace the friendship. It's your character that defines you. In fact, it's how you handle and deal with situations is what defines the person that you are. I think money is just a tool. It's just a means. So,
got an interesting comment I just saw come here. We were talking about earlier men thing here. Don't most Western cultures also don't hold divorced mothers in a good regard? That's
no, not true at all. No, we I didn't quite get to finish that conversation we had earlier. In the West, I know, and I've lived around the world. I've lived in, I think over 30 countries. I've lived and worked in over 30 countries. And in the West, we could care less if a lady is divorced and she's got children. All we care about, she's divorced, she's single. That's great.
Soccer moms.
That's all it means. Just if they're divorced, it means they're single. There is absolutely no stain or
stigma.
There's no stigma about being divorced. No. It just doesn't matter. It just means you're single. Great.
Yeah. Very much.
There you go. I think a lot of people are getting clued into that now. There's a YouTuber some of you may or not be familiar with. Winston Serpent ZA. When he met a lady who was divorced, and they have a wonderful relationship. So there you go. So moving back in. Now,
just getting on that point. Sorry to cut you off, Snarky.
No, go ahead, please. By all means.
Society is a lot different now. Like the world is a different place than what it was 50 years ago. 100 years ago, we just learned how to fly a plane. The Wright brothers.
Yep.
And if you look in the last 100 years, the ability for humans to travel, to go from horse and buggy to cars to, flying on planes now. So many years ago, when people got married, they generally married someone that was within their local community, like it was in their town. And so they basically, they got married for life, and, financial matters, like, 40, 50 years ago, a husband earning a wage was enough to support a family, buy a house, buy a car, take the family on holidays. In today's financial economy, you can't do that. I know in Australia you need 2 incomes, so you need to be with the average is that you need 2 incomes, and because people can travel more, it's I won't say easy, but it's life presents more opportunities to people. If things aren't working out, it's okay to change. So it doesn't matter if you get divorced. Like it's better. It's actually better to divorce from somebody rather than be in a miserable marriage. So there's absolutely no stigma with divorce at all.
Definitely. I like this. Got a couple comments on that. I guess in Asian countries, China, Japan, and Korea, they still tend to hold more conservative views regarding divorced mothers. But comment right after that, I think it may be changing slowly in Asia as well, based on my experiences in Japan and Asia. I think he's right. I think it is the norm is slowly changing there. I think people are realizing that it's more about the person and less about, the stigma or maybe even the person they used to be. Because, everybody's changing. I think everybody deserves a second look or a second chance, right?
Absolutely. And you
Definitely.
don't know. And see, also, the famous singer Elvis Presley. I remember
Heard of him.
He sang a song called "Walk a Mile in My Shoes."
Yeah.
You don't know why someone got divorced. You don't know the circumstances of what happened that led to the divorce happening, whether it was infidelity, whether it was financial pressure, whether it was due to an illness. Sometimes people can't cope if someone becomes ill. There are many reasons. I remember that I used to have this view of, and if I may use this analogy, that I thought, well, Elvis Presley, he's this crazy guy that shoots TVs and gives away cars to people, and he's just a crazy guy.
Peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
And then and that he's this crazy entertainer. Until I went to Graceland, and I learned that when I was there, they've got this big museum there on this property there, and I learned that he nearly sent himself bankrupt. He was on the verge of bankruptcy because every year at Christmas time, he wrote a check for $1,000 to every single kindergarten, church, school, social group in the town of Memphis, in the city of Memphis. And
wow.
And they've got a lot of the checks, they've got them on display. And it was when he did his comeback tour in Hawaii that he sort of got himself back into, financially restored himself. But he was so committed to supporting his local community. And then I heard his song "Walk a Mile in My Shoes," and I realized I had judged him without really knowing anything about him. Once I learned about him, I thought, geez, what a great man.
Yep.
And so you can't say a bad thing about Elvis in Memphis, or you'll end up in the deep fryer, the chicken deep fryer.
There you go.
So getting back to the women, why are they divorced? We are not in that relationship. We're not walking that road. Are not walking their shoes. So it would be unfair to just stigmatize these beautiful women.
True story.
For they are people. They are a person. They are people.
They most definitely are. Absolutely. I got a comment here. Do rich people keep pets?
I have a beautiful border collie, and I miss him dearly. Absolutely.
Tell us about your border collie. What's his name?
His name is Kai Xing.
Kai Xing, which means happy.
Happy. Very good. What a chong hung hao.
What a zhongwen fei chong zhao gao.
Oh, he's got need a chong hung hao. What a chong bu hao.
我不会说中文.
Oh. Sorry, we're getting off topic here. No, I love my dog Kai Xing. He's a beautiful border collie. I only got him last year on my birthday in June last year, and he was like this big, a little fluff ball. And now a year and a half later, he's grown into this massive dog, and he's been living with one of my housekeepers in Chengdu. So,
which here is a story for you. This guy here, and this I want to go off on a little tangent. This is not again the peasantry speaking, but something that I guess when people might have the good life and they don't necessarily realize it.
Too many lollies.
But when people don't realize they may not have the good life, he was showing me some pictures of his dog. Beautiful pictures the other day, some video. To him, it's a video like, oh, look at my dog, and here's this, and here's that. No, I miss him and that. You know what I saw? I watched a video of his dog going from one house to another mansion being chauffeured. So
No.
I'm watching a video of his dog getting chauffeured. And that
Nice.
But for him, obviously, it's my dog is so happy to be to this house. He loves this house.
Yeah, but I respect. But my dog he's a living being. You know,
Yeah,
like
he gets his own chauffeur.
I'm not going to put him in a cage and drag him around. Like, you know,
It's an interesting angle, though. Different points of view of, like, you know, very humble.
when you meet my dog, you will understand. He's a beautiful.
He
dog.
deserves it.
He's a beautiful dog.
Hey, Jamaica Funk is in the house. Elvis is giving away Cadillacs too. Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. Yes.
Jamaica Funk and I hung out in Shanghai last week. I'm kind of steering the conversation in a different direction, I realize. Awesome guy. If you have not subscribed to Jamaica Funk's channel, you are doing yourself a disservice. So, what is this? Are you on the Marmite soup? Nope. On the classic Marmite versus Vegemite, I'm solid in the Vegemite camp.
Yes,
Definitely.
no, Marmite. If you're on Marmite, we're disconnecting.
Yes, that is a cup of coffee that's big enough to do the backstroke in. So
Good mug.
there we go. So Bunny says, I guess it's a financial institution that helps divorced ladies to stand up. True story. So
Financial independence.
Jamaica Funk. So anyway, continue with what you're saying. You're taking your dog out, having your dog chauffeured.
No, it's just,
It's the viewpoint, I guess, that one gets. So it's not like, for someone, it's just normal life. There are many things that, like, for example, he might show me a video of something, and for me, I'll be like, oh my God, this is gobsmacking. But for him, it's like, it's normal. Like, you know, it's normal. It's not splurging money on things. It's not going out of your way. It's just comfortable living. Another one, for example, like, and this was a really good one, actually, that I only noticed today because I was talking a bit about how I've traveled in business class before. I had experienced and seen the difference between someone like me, energetic and excited and helping myself to the buffet, versus people that clearly do it a lot, that are just sitting there reading a newspaper. And something that got pointed out that I'd never seen was something as simple as drinking, and that I constantly will fill my cup to the top, whereas he and people that he would drink with don't fill a cup to the top. It's not something that I think maybe it's similar, like the Chinese way of thinking that I've got is, it's there. Get it before someone else gets it. Help yourself to something, like, it's going to be gone otherwise.
There's no hurry to fill it up, because, you know, if you need more, you can just go get more.
Exactly. There's always more. There's that. You don't need to overindulge yourself in good things. Like, just enjoy it in its simplistic form.
All right. I want to get to our rapid fire questions because we don't have a lot of time left in this stream. So let's go to our rapid fire question. So, where were we? Is there anything that's considered taboo for someone that has a lot of money?
Just don't get involved in anything criminal. You know, stay, but you know, you do follow the law. You know, do what the government wants you to do. Happy life. Oh, happy life, happy wife. Yeah.
Now, do you have? Are you with anyone? Do you have a relationship, or are you single right now?
Oh, I'm in a relationship with someone at the moment.
There we go. But do you have a lot of ladies that will come up to you and try to engage you in such, knowing you might be a little more of a high roller, let's say, than some average people?
No, a lot of the ladies that I associate with, they're respectful. They, you know, everyone sort of knows their space, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any privilege because of your status? Is there any privilege associated with having a little more money than others?
Privilege.
when you went to that concert. That's kind of cool. Knowing people and getting behind stage.
Well,
and that.
well, when we have activities at home, for example, there's a very famous opera singer from Germany. He's actually Chinese. He's Chinese, but he lives in Germany and he performs in the German opera. But when he comes to Chengdu, he'll come and perform in our house. So,
oh, nice.
And those are videos that I will be putting up on my Midgen channel. There's also a very famous surgeon in China, Chinese surgeon. He specializes in women's health. He's a gynecologist and into breast cancer. He holds very big seminars and functions in Chongqing and Shenzhen. In fact, Beijing and Shanghai, all over China.
Oh, wow.
Highly regarded. But he's also a very good musician. And he comes to our house and we will have a big sing-along. So very high profile people. That's who we hang around with. The living Buddha, at the moment, the current living Buddha, he's a good friend of ours and he comes to our house. I've got video and photos of all that. So they're the things that I'll be putting up on my channel.
Much more than just living as an expert.
Remember I was showing you how we do photos at home. And it was
this guy for photo shoots. You know, like the selfie, like the duck lip.
Oh yeah,
the duck lip selfies.
Oh, I love Straya's duck lips.
Thank you.
So, put a wig and a bra on that boy, and he'd just be downright sexy.
Well, these guys, they do photo shoots. So instead of taking one Instagram photo, they've got people like, oh, I'm going to take a photo. Let's call in the makeup team. Let's get a crew of like 15 people and get in and get the lights. And they're just taking a photo to put on social media, but it's got to be.
Well, because we're doing it properly. It's about
the proper way to take a selfie.
So, and they're things that I'll put up on the channel to show that so we'll have a big production crew come around to do the photos. But then you get good photos,
There you go.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest indulgence? If you have the ability to, what's your biggest indulgence money-wise in China?
Well, property's number one, but my biggest indulgence is I bought a Rolls Royce, and some people criticised me for it, but said, "Yeah, but I want it." So,
hey, there you go. Nice. So now here's a question a lot of people are going to ask: do you shop for your own groceries, or do you have someone that does that for you?
Oh no. Can I just go back to when we talked about stewardship?
Yeah.
There's a lot of responsibility. So this is the other pressure. We're time poor. So like every day for me is lunch is at a restaurant, dinner is at a restaurant, going to meetings. And as you would know, in China, business deals are done over dinner meetings. Like it's about getting to know you, and if we feel we can trust you and we can work with you. So it's more about being time poor. So because I'm so time poor, well, I have staff that go and get the groceries and all that stuff. And so it's not that it's beyond me. It's just that it's about time management.
Sure.
Because of the responsibility to people that are relying on me to keep the business going so that they've got an income.
I gotcha. So speaking of that time poor, does that mean you do or do not take public transport?
Oh, no.
So
no, I don't take public transport, no. Only because, again, it's because of being time poor.
Standing in a line, you could have been doing something more valuable with your time. Or
yeah, because remember I said about being a good steward, there's a lot more responsibility because there are people that are relying on me to keep the business going so that they've got their income, that they've got their commitments. They're relying on getting their salary so that they can pay their mortgage, so that they can meet their bills. So
now what about things that don't require? It can be the same as far as time. Like for example, when you take a train or a plane, do you just take the regular class, or do you go for the first class?
Oh, no. I go first class. But it's actually, like, there's a lot more to it than just sitting at the pointy end of the plane. So, again, this gets down to being time management.
Mm-hmm.
So, with traveling first class, there's they send a chauffeur to the house to pick you up. So, they handle any, if you've got luggage. I generally don't travel with luggage because what I need is at each location anyway.
I
But
see.
you know, you get picked up in a car, and then when you get to the airport, you can go and in the first class lounge, you can go and have a shower and freshen up before you get on the flight.
Okay.
You can have a good sleep on the plane so that when you arrive, you're ready to go because you've got to get to that meeting.
And might I add, with him in first class, I remember a long time ago he said to me that when we were discussing first class tickets, you know what this guy says? He says, you know, you can get them cheaper if you buy them by the book. The same way that you buy by the book like movie tickets, this guy buys first class tickets because you get a discount.
Yeah, well, you do, because if you buy, say, a book of 10 tickets, you get them really cheap. You know, it's a good deal.
So if you can afford 10 cheaper first class tickets, it's cheaper.
Well, I mean, some people go to a ridiculous degree. Like I know American Airlines used to offer what they called their Advantage card, which is unlimited flights anywhere first class for the rest of your life, and it costs like $1 million or something like that. And you can fly on those planes that have like your own cabin, your own shower, you know, and like they call the apartment cabin or whatever else. I think I've seen a couple of those.
It's a good concept too. I mean, because even as I speak to him, he says things too, like often people that do travel that aren't in his position, like myself, you'll plan a holiday maybe 2 months away and you'll book a ticket, you'll get these things organized. This guy calls up on the day and he's like, you know, I'd like to travel in my favorite seat. I'd like to get on this plane. 12D. There you go. 12D. He even knows his seat number. And he'll just get on a plane. Like, you know, be the next, like, you know, what is it? 12 hours? 12 hours to get to China. Same day. I feel like traveling to China, or I feel like traveling back to Australia. Just jump on a plane.
Maybe, you know, stop off in Paris, have a, you know, little escargot. Continue on the way. There you go. Why
Paris
not?
is lovely. Paris is like, do you remember, you've been to Paris, Snarky?
I have. I was just in Paris in February, actually.
Oh, when you go up the Eiffel Tower, the lift, it goes cluck, clunk, cluck, clunk, cluck, clunk, as it's going up the side, you know, up in the leg.
Yeah, when it's kind of going that way. The weirdest part about the Eiffel, though, is you get up there. This thing was meant to stand for like 4 years, and it's over 160 years old now. And you get up there, and you can feel it moving just a little bit, and that's spooky. So
it's a great place. France is a beautiful place.
There we go. I like this comment here. For traveling first class, it's essential that you arrive at your destination fresh and well rested. That's true, because then you're going to be able to be more effective in your dealings.
Yeah, because you literally, because like what will happen is, and this happens when I arrive in, say, Chengdu, the chauffeur's there waiting to meet me, and I'm literally going straight to a meeting, you know, off the plane. You know, it's like I've landed, and I'm going to a meeting. It's about good time management. That's what it's about. And even though we can chat on like we're doing this video conference now, you still need to press the flesh.
True story. True story. Yeah. So one of my favorite comments tonight. I like Snarky's hat. Thank you. Oh. So, well, guys, we have, this hour has just breezed by us. I want to give both of you guys an opportunity to give a couple final thoughts. Tell us what's coming out on your channel in the near future. Straya, take it away, my friend.
All right. Final thoughts. I guess for me, as I said, I'm pretty much the opposite. You'll notice me, if I'm catching a plane or something, I'm trying to get every single cent. It's the most expensive seat that you'll pay for in your life. So I'm getting all the free nuts. I'm getting all the drinks. I'm watching all the movies. I'm taking as much as I can from that.
You realize we notice all that. We see that. We go,
Yeah, exactly. Whether other people having a nap, no way. I didn't pay that amount of money for a nap. Anyway,
I'm struggling not to make a double entendre right now.
Hang on.
Sorry, what was that one there?
I'm struggling not to make a double entendre with your nuts comment, but
well, you're wearing pants today. It'll take a little bit longer.
pants on. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm looking hopefully to release some new content or a couple of previews of some of my things to be coming out soon. It's actually a special. Do you want to announce or?
Well, you're talking about your channel at the moment.
Yeah, we'll get onto that. We'll get onto the second thing in a second. But on my channel, it's probably going to be a bit of cooking maybe on my channel coming up. This guy here has just dumped a bunch of Chinese ingredients on me. So I'm thinking maybe doing a bit of a let's see what I can cook scenario. We'll see. Maybe I'll burn the house.
Straya Guy. So, crikey, we're going to throw this snake in here. We're going to throw a couple of shrimps on the barbie. I know nobody says that.
Shrimp. We do not say shrimp. We say prawn.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know it's a bad stereotype from an old Michael Caine movie. So, true story.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed at the moment.
We could go for a pickle and pork down the Frog and Toad to get some dog's eyes and dead horse.
Bloody oath.
Good on you, mate. He has no idea.
Well, they say the people in China will eat anything on 4 legs except a table. So
a bit of Australian for you. We're going to go for a pickle and pork is to go for a walk down the Frog and Toad. That's the road. To get some dog's eyes, that's a meat pie with some dead horse. That's sauce. So that's real Australian.
So, Carney, last thoughts on this, and tell me what's coming out on your channel in the near future.
Me, Jen, I'm going to be putting up the videos of what we do, where we sit around reading poetry to each other, the opera singers, famous rock stars, pop stars from China, other famous celebrities that I hang around with in Chengdu. I've got a lot of those. So those videos will be coming up, and just to show that you can live just as good a life in China as you can in the West. And, I want the world to know that China's just like the rest of the world. It's not
just eating scorpions on sticks and stuff.
Yeah. And then I'll be putting out content every week with that. And then the last thing that we'd like to announce is that we've created a collaboration channel.
It's been put together as we speak.
We've been out filming all day.
Yeah.
Actually, we've been filming over the
last week.
Yeah, the last week.
All week.
And this new channel is called Go Away.
Go away.
Because we want to go away. Because we want to go away to China. And so while we can't go away to China, we're going away to places around Australia, or more specifically Canberra at the moment, to show comparisons between things in Canberra and the things that we would do in China. So it's our intermediate collaboration channel,
and then once we get back to China,
we'll keep doing our
going away in China.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I look forward to that. So awesome, guys. Well, as far as things coming out with me, more the same. I started taking my new Osmo Action, which is basically the DJI GoPro, and I started putting that on the side of DD windows. I get into DD, and I just pop that right on the side, and I've got late night DD.
That's great.
Late night
and
DD.
So
we're doing the karaoke and the DD soon.
Yeah, no karaoke, but it could be an interesting series. It could be the absolute crap show. I don't know. We'll find out. But I got some of that coming out. I just released some stop motion recently that was kind of amusing, but it took forever to move everything else around.
I thought that was very clever.
But, well, guys, I really appreciate having you guys on. It was a blast. You're more than welcome to come back anytime. For the rest of you guys, I really appreciate you guys joining us on the Snark Lounge. We will see you guys next week on the Snark Lounge. Bunny will be in the house. Can't wait. So, and in the meantime, you guys always carry your can of sardines. You never know when you may need them. And we'll see you guys next week right here on the Snark Lounge. See you guys later.